All right, so I'm going to talk about this psychosis known as the Trump shooting event or the Trump assassination attempt, failed, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever this clown show you want to call it whatever you want. I really don't care. I'm just going to tell you guys the truth, all right? And I'm going to present to you guys some evidence, an eyewitness. I'm going to present to you some testimony, basically, and just common sense things that if people don't understand this, I don't know what's wrong with you, and I can't help you. All right, so I'm gonna give you something to chew on, something to think about, and then you make up your own damn mind what you want to believe, right? But before I get too into it, if you like my content, consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and also supporting my Patreon. It's in the link in the description below. And without further ado, I'm going to get started. So what I'm going to do is I did a live stream, and in case you guys missed it, it's up on my channel. I actually got hit with a strike for the live stream. I don't know why. I didn't say anything wrong, but YouTube said it was hate speech, right? And then I made a video that I didn't release this video, but I was going to, talking shit about YouTube because they hit me with a strike. And I felt like I was speaking too much truth in that live stream. And every time that I speak the truth to the highest degree, that's when YouTube decides to strike my channel. They've done this multiple times before. So I appealed this little strike, and they reversed it. They removed the strike, and they brought my live stream back up. So if somebody was watching my live stream and you notice that it got removed out of nowhere, it's because that's what YouTube did. They struck me for no reason. I appealed it, and then they reposted it. I was going to put it on my other social media platforms, but I didn't. But regardless, that live stream, I pretty much touched on some of the things that I'm going to discuss in this video. So if you want to watch that as a little preview, I'll show you right now. It's up on my channel right here in the live stream section. So if you go here, it's this one right here. It's called Donald Trump fake assassination attempt, and I put this little thumbnail because that's how I feel about it, and I'm gonna show you why I feel that way. Right? That's what this video is about. It's to show you my evidence, or whatever you want to call it, right? That makes me believe that what I said is the truth. And to me, this is just common sense. Not just because of even if I didn't know the things I knew about how fucked up the world was and how dark things really are behind the scenes, I would still have come to this conclusion of my own accord, just based on the things that I saw on the human level, not even on the higher dimensional alien demonic level, but even on the lower level, on the 3D. I'm very common sense about things. I look at something and I analyze it quickly, and I'm able to figure it out very quickly. That's why I tell people, if you come to my channel, you try to have an argument with me, you better come correct, because I can see the truth in everything very quickly. It doesn't take me long. So if you come with some bullshit, you're done. And a lot of people don't like that about me. They get upset because they want me to believe their lies or their bullshit. And I just don't. That's just the bottom line. So if you were one of those people, you're shit out of luck right here on this channel. You're shit out of luck. You might as well go watch somebody else. That's the way I feel about it. But anyways, I'm going to read an article, and I'm going to show you guys what this eyewitness said, so you guys can make up your own mind about what you want to believe, like I said earlier. Without further ado, this article is on the Telegraph, and it says, Trump security was warned about gunmen 4 minutes before shooting, witness claims. Account from man who saw gunmen bear crawling on shed roof raises questions about security lapses. And that's what they want you to believe, right? They're going with this narrative that the Secret Service had a security lapse. Apparently, they put out this little story where Biden didn't provide Trump with enough support or whatever for security, and all this other nonsense, right? They're trying to spin it as if there was just not enough security to cover this situation. Bullshit. bullshit. Not only was there enough security, because within seconds of this man shooting Trump, they killed the gunman within seconds. And so that means that they were well aware that this motherfucker was up there. They knew he was up there. They quickly took him out. For them to spot him as quick as they did and to get rid of him as quick as they did means that they were aware not only that he was up there, but he was in plain sight. That's how there were witnesses that saw him get up there. But anyways, let me just read the article. So these are apparently the security should be ashamed of themselves. And I talked about this on my live stream. I have sniper training. So I know if somebody wants to hit you somewhere and they're good enough to shoot the shot, they're going to hit you where they want to hit you. So if this gunman wanted to shoot Trump only in the ear and he had the right angle, he was going to hit Trump in the ear. I know from experience. I was trained by a very, very gifted sniper in the military. And I can assure you it's possible to do that, especially from the range he was at. He wasn't that far away where it was impossible to do what he did. But they're trying to make it seem as, oh, this guy missed. No, he didn't miss. He hit Trump where he wanted to hit Trump because it was never meant to kill Trump. That wasn't the point of this. The point was to make a big fucking scene, just like everything else Trump does, so that you people can fall for his bullshit and support him, whoever believes in this shit. And I'm going to say this just to set the record straight. I'm not a leftist or a righty. I'm not on any political side. I don't support anyone. Fuck Trump. Fuck Biden. That's the way I feel about it. Fuck the U.S. government. Fuck all governments. I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. I'm not a anything. I don't belong in any group or any category. I have my own little niche, one-man society going on with I'm the only person in it, I guess, that I have my own beliefs. But there are some people that agree with some of the things that I say, but not everyone agrees with everything that I say, which is fine because that's never going to happen. But I'm very secluded in my thoughts, and it's very difficult for people to understand everything I say, but I try my best to explain things. Anyways, let me read this article. It says, the U.S. Secret Service is facing fierce criticism after eyewitnesses claim they warned officials about Donald Trump's assassination or attempted assassin several minutes before he fired on the former president's rally. Now, apparently this wasn't the only witness either. There were other people that saw this man going up there with a rifle, but let's keep going. One eyewitness described how he and his friends raised the alarm with law enforcement where they spotted a man armed with a rifle crawling onto a nearby rooftop in Butler, Pennsylvania. We noticed the guy bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us 50 feet away from us, he told the BBC. You can clearly see him with a rifle, he said, describing how despite pointing at the shooter, officers remained running around on the ground and appeared to not know what was going on. What kind of security is this? Where you see somebody, so you have witnesses saying, hey, this dude he's going up on the roof with a rifle. Are you guys going to do anything about it? And the police are looking at this man. Instead of doing something, apparently, the way this is being described to me is they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And what that tells me is this was allowed to happen for obvious reasons, which I will touch on later. But it was meant to happen this way. I mean, I kind of already talked about it, but I'll elaborate further as I go along. So then this guy says, you can clearly see him with a rifle, he said, describing how despite pointing at the officer, shooters remained running around on the ground and appeared to not know what was going on. So I already read that, but whatever. You reading it again, fuck it. It's worth reading again because it's so stupid how this happened. But anyways, he added, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at the gunman for, 2 or 3 minutes. The Secret Service is looking at us, he said, claiming the agents were just standing there. Now, this is where the law enforcement snipers were on the roof. Right up here. This is where Trump was. Right here. And this is where the gunman was. As you can see, There's not a lot of foliage or trees or structures that are obstructing the view of these fucking snipers over here that are supposed to be protecting Trump. So they have a clear view onto this roof over here that this man, where the man was at. Not to mention, this area is not that big in terms of securing it, right? It should be very possible, and I know this from experience because I was in the military, to have enough detail and enough personnel to secure this whole entire fucking area. There's no reason, even just these guys alone should have been enough to secure this area. Even if you just had these snipers up here, they should have been enough to basically surveil this entire area. And again, I know from experience and know that if this motherfucker was up here, they should have spotted his ass immediately. They should have known because they're supposed to be, they're supposed to be surveilling. They're supposed to be moving their weapon back and forth, looking around, seeing who's where and what's what. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. What were they doing? Taking a nap? What, eating a sandwich? Like having a picnic? What are you doing up there that you didn't see this shit? There's no excuse for this. It's ridiculous. But, the story they want you to believe is they had a lapse, right? And these weren't the only security. These snipers up here weren't the only ones. There were more security all around the place. I guarantee you there was enough security in this area to spot this motherfucker up here. If these guys didn't see him, I guarantee you there were other security that saw this dude. And not to mention, this witness is saying exactly what I'm saying. He said, we went to these police or security. We told them. They didn't do anything. So anyways, let me keep going. From this vantage on top of a manufacturing plant, the gunman identified by the FBI as Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20, was able to get within 500 feet of the former U.S. president. He was armed with an AR-15 assault rifle. Multiple shots were fired into the rally, grazing Trump's ear, killing one spectator and injuring two others, before Crooks was shot dead by a trained sniper. Oh, he's so trained that he can't even fucking spot this fucking dude on the roof. It took him forever to figure out that there was somebody there. Like, I don't understand this shit at all. Like, and the reason why this bothers me so much, because like I said, I've had sniper training and I was in the military. I've done securing perimeters and all this shit. Like, all this shit that I used to do, I know how it works, right? And I'm not the only one saying this shit. There are other people, also former military, and just people that understand how security works, that are saying the same thing. And even regular people that don't know shit about security can see the same thing I'm saying, because it's common fucking sense. You don't have to be in the military or a former sniper or anything like that to know that this is bullshit. That something went wrong here more than just a security lapse. Let's just say that. So then they say he was armed with an AR-15 assault rifle. Multiple shots were fired. I already read that. Let me go to the next thing. It raised immediate questions about security failures by the Secret Service, the highly trained agency which provides current senior government officials and former U.S. presidents with lifetime protection. It's not about the security. Of course, it's a security failure if it's done purposely. Yeah. So what, are you going to fire the whole entire Secret Service? Well, you should. You should fire everybody in the FBI. You should fire everybody in the CIA. You should fire the whole fucking government. We should just start over from scratch because it's all corrupted and it's all failed. The whole fucking thing. That's the way I feel about it. None of these people are fucking competent. But let's keep going. And yeah, they always use one of these people, right? One of these pathetic losers. They try to make them look as nerdy and pathetic and like, oh my God, my life is so bad. My life is so shit. I have to go and kill someone. I have to go and try and attempt to kill someone. And that's the picture they're painting, right? They want you to think this person was so miserable that they just had to go and try to kill Trump. What I think happened is this person was probably miserable, but they weren't trying to kill anybody. They probably just found this person and they were like, you know what? We can use this guy to MK Ultra him basically and have him assassinate a president or a former president. That's what I think happened. And this has happened before. This happened to JFK. So this isn't new. But people act like history isn't repeating or rhyming or whatever you want to call it. But the difference, I guess, is that apparently this guy missed. And that's the big misconception. That's the big lie they want you to believe, that this guy missed. He didn't miss. He hit Trump where he wanted to hit Trump, because this whole thing is bullshit. They just want you to think that, oh, Trump survived an assassination attempt. I don't know about you guys, but if somebody shoots at me and they hit me, I'm not going to put my fist up in the air and pump my fist and say, yeah, yeah. I'm going to be like, what the fuck just happened? I need to go to the fucking hospital. But you know why Trump did that? Not only because it was a show, he was putting on a show, but he knew he was safe because he knew the whole script. So he's like, they took this motherfucker. I'm good. Because you can hear in the video where they were like, security service was like, oh, yeah, we took the gunman down. It's clear or whatever. So you can hear them saying that. So Trump knew it was good. He was like, I'm clear. I'm good. I can stand up. I can do whatever. He knew the plan. So of course he felt confident. I would too if I knew what was going on. I mean, still, if somebody shot me, I still wouldn't be pumping my fist up in the air. But whatever. Trump is a fucking psych. That's why in my thumbnail I put psychopath. Because for someone to not only fake this whole situation, but then celebrate it in front of millions of people, in front of the world, basically. So billions of people, really. And make himself look like some kind of sympathetic figure just to gain popularity. You got to be a fucking psychopath. You got to be crazy to do that shit. But people think this guy's the most stable and noblest guy in the world. But he's not. He's fucking crazy. He's part of the deep state. He's controlled by the demons. And he's being used for a purpose. And you know what his purpose is? To divide the fucking world. To divide at least America. But because everybody follows America's politics so closely, he's dividing the world. There are people in different countries telling me, oh, people are supporting Trump now because of this. I'm like, are you guys stupid? He's not even in your country. Why do you care? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Whatever. Let's keep going. So then the article says, given the round-the-clock surveillance he has granted, Trump 78 should be among the most highly protected individuals in the world. No shit. Republicans and Democrats have joined calls for the U.S. Congress to conduct its own investigation. And what are you going to find? And see, this is the shit that pisses me the fuck off. Because they're going to investigate themselves. So you know what's going to happen? They're going to make up whatever story they want. If they want to have a scapegoat, they'll have a scapegoat. They'll be like, oh, this person failed. Or whatever. They'll sacrifice somebody. And if they don't, guess what? They'll just say, oh, you know what? It was just this crazy person that did this crazy thing, and we'll do better in the future. But whatever the case is, they're going to make up whatever story they feel is going to get the most people to believe them. That's all they're going to do. So whatever they think will be the most credible, they're going to be like, people will believe if we say this. That's what they're going to fucking do. That's the bottom line. Because they all are in on this. They all plan this. So it's a joke to hear, oh, they're going to investigate this. No, you're not, motherfuckers. You're not. Who are you investigating? You guys are the ones that did this. So what are you investigating? Whatever. Jim Comer, the Republican chairman of the powerful House Oversight Committee, has demanded Kimberly Cheadle, the Secret Service director, appear before Congress for a hearing. Oh, no. So they're going to have a woman as the head of security? Oh, man. That's all I'm going to say about that. There are many questions and Americans demand answers, he said. Mike Johnson, the Republican Speaker of the House of Representatives, said Ms. Cheadle and other appropriate officials from the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI will appear for a hearing before our committees ASAP. The American people deserve to know the truth, he said. Yeah, and you dumb motherfuckers are never going to tell them the truth. You're not going to tell them what I just said, right? So if you're not going to say what I said, guess what? You're not telling them the truth. So why are you wasting your time? Oh, I know why you're wasting your time. Because you want to control people and you want to fool people and you delight in hurting people. That's why you're doing all this shit. It has nothing to do with telling the American people the truth and protecting American people. This is all a show to hurt people, to control people, to trick people, to manipulate people, to get people to do what you want, right? That's what this shit is. That's all it's ever been. That's all governments have ever been about, is controlling people and making them do what the government wants. Why do you think we have laws? What are the laws for? To do what the government tells you to do. That's the whole point of fucking having laws. There's no other reason. I'm not saying all the laws are bad. Some laws are good. But don't think for 1 second that any law that's created is to protect you. Because every law has a penalty. So if you break one of those laws, you're getting fucked. It doesn't matter whether it's a good law or a bad law. That's my point. That all laws, you will get fucked if you break them. Some are good. I would go as far as to say that most laws are good. But some are not good. But whatever, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. Anyways, the FBI said it had taken the lead in investigating the attack. With typical understatement, Kevin Rojek, the FBI special agent in charge, said it was surprising that Crooks was able to fire at the stage before he was killed. Yeah, you know why it's surprising? Because he should have never been up there to begin with. He should have been spotted. How the fuck did you idiots miss him going up there after you were told? You were told by witnesses. Crook's position on the roof was less than 150 yards from where Trump was speaking. That's very close. If you know anything about sniper training or shooting, if he was that close, that's an easy shot. Yeah, you can easily shoot someone's ear off or nose off or finger off. If you're a good enough shot, that's not that far away. But whatever. The same rough distance from which analysts have pointed out, U.S. Army recruits are required to hit a scaled, human-sized silhouette with a similar rifle to qualify in basic training. Do you see? This is basic training shit. This is not even advanced sniper training. This is just average U.S. Army. Anybody can do this training. Let alone if you're a sniper, if you're really trained and you have a scope and everything, it's easy to hit someone's ear if you know how to shoot, right? But anyways, the FBI is expected to identify how the security lapse occurred. Oh my God, I just told you guys, you don't need to do an investigation. It's not that hard to you guys let him up there and you let him do this. That's it. To put on a show. That's all this was. Allies of Trump have already condemned the failings. Writing for the Telegraph, Alan Dershowitz, Trump's former lawyer, said the incident had revealed incompetence of the Secret Service in preventing even the most amateurish of efforts to kill a presidential candidate. Even they're calling it an amateur attempt because it was in plain fucking sight and everybody could see the motherfucker going up on the roof. But I can assure you that the man was not an amateur in terms of shooting. He was trained to do what he did. And he hit Trump where he wanted to hit Trump. Make no mistake, this man did not miss. People keep saying that he missed. No, he actually, if he would have missed, Trump would be dead. He didn't miss. He hit Trump where he wanted to hit Trump. That's the part people keep misunderstanding. And then it says, no armed shooter should have been allowed anywhere near any building with a line of sight to the speaker, he wrote. Mr. Dershowitz, an emeritus professor, sorry, some of these words I can't read, some of these names, at Harvard Law School, highlighted the fact that the primary role of the Secret Service is preventive rather than reactive. No shit. One does not need to be an expert in law enforcement to criticize this most obvious and easily preventable breach of security, he added. That's what I said, right? Anybody, an average Joe could figure this out. You don't need to be a trained security officer or anything like that to see the obvious thing. Like this eyewitness, which I'm about to show you. The eyewitness interview by the BBC speculated that law enforcement officials may have been unable to spot the gunman because of the angle of the slope roof he was on. Yeah, that's... See, they always have some bullshit like this. The slope roof. So that's the excuse, right? Oh, there's no way. So what about all the other motherfuckers that were around, that were security, that saw him walking up there? They didn't spot him either? There's always some excuse, but the excuse is bullshit. And they want you to believe this. That this was the reason why, the slope roof, why they couldn't see him. But even if those snipers on the roof couldn't see him, somebody should have spotted him, aka this guy. So I'm going to show you this guy, okay? Watch what this guy says. I don't know if I should maximize it or not. Let me see. Yeah, I'll maximize it.
Someone who was here. You weren't inside the event,
Nope.
but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw. And
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party. And we all decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? This is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked.
And see, that's the thing, right? Just to interlude a little bit into what he's saying. So, that's what I said, right? First of all, there should have been enough Secret Service to cover the area. And second of all, just with the people they had, they should have been able, just with local law enforcement, and they should have had enough people that should have seen this happening. If this normal average Joe, this guy's not a dumb guy. He's he's a decently intelligent guy. He's not an idiot. And he saw what was going on, and he's trying to warn the police and the Secret Service. He's like, hey, hey, there's somebody going up there, and they're ignoring him. I'm like, okay, so this guy can see what's happening, but the police can't see it. The security can't see it. But just a normal dude just at the rally can see it? That makes no sense to me. It's just so stupid. It's illogical, but let's keep going.
Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
That's
yep.
so fake.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. We saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it,
but sure. But
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
Did you hear what he just said? He said if they would have seen him, an average Joe that just went to the rally as a normal person, right? having a weapon or anything suspicious that they might have mistaken as a weapon, they would have immediately either subdued him or arrested him or something. Something would have happened to this guy. But guess why nothing happened to the other guy? Because the other guy was part of the show. This guy's not part of the show. And I've told you guys before, watch the show but don't get involved, right? This is all the show. Once you get involved, you get dealt with. And I don't know if Trump supporters are learning by now, but if you go to a Trump rally, your life is in danger. You can end up dead or in prison for no reason, just because you support Trump. And he's the one that's leading these people into the slaughter. As much as people think that it's Trump's enemies, Trump is the enemy. He's working with the enemy. Trump is doing all of this shit for his own ego, so he can be popular. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone. He's putting on a show. His role is to be the good guy, to present himself as the savior. That's what they want him to do. That's what the demons want. You need the good side so the bad side can exist. Without the good, there's no bad. Without the bad, there's no good. So Trump is the good guy. He's playing the good guy role. But unfortunately, the world is controlled by evil. And they get pleasure, insane amounts of pleasure, out of making someone into a hero and destroying them. And that's what they're doing with Trump. But they're not going to destroy Trump anytime soon because they need him to continually do what he's doing to control the population, to divide the people, right? That's what Trump's role is to divide everyone. Whether you like him or hate him, it doesn't matter. He's doing what he's there to do, which is divide everyone. If you're stupid enough to believe in politics. But anyways, let me let this guy finish.
Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not at every building here?
Good question.
There's a whole bunch of questions, I think, that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
I don't know who he's talking about, but
What's the
okay.
significance of her?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. And you just stay safe with your family and look after yourself. Thanks for your
Gotcha,
time.
man.
Yeah, and if something happens to that dude, if he ends up dead or missing or being harassed or death threats or whatever, it's because they want to shut him down, right? That's how they operate. But yeah, all in all, as you guys saw, let me see how much more of this. I don't want to read the rest of this, to be honest. I'll just scroll through it so you guys can see it. You guys can read this on your own. I'll just scroll through so you can see the article. You can see how the events unfolded and all the extra garbage they wanted, all the fluff, all the sprinkles on the shit cake, right? You can just look at all this, read it for yourself. I'll go a little slow. Whatever. And this is the saddest thing, I think, to me, is that somebody that supported Trump died. At least one person. And another person was injured. I don't really care about Trump. But there are people that go there innocently supporting him, thinking they're doing a good thing. And they're dead or hurt or in the hospital. Just for supporting Trump. And I haven't even touched on January 6th, right? So, I mean, how many things have to happen to Trump supporters before they realize this man's leading them to the slaughter? I don't know. But this is why I tell people, believe in yourself and follow yourself. Don't believe in anyone else. I don't believe in anyone but myself. Like, people think I follow Kim Gogan or someone else. I follow myself. If Kim Gogan says things that agree with my line of thinking, then I take her serious. Just like anyone else that agrees with me. But it's not I agree with Kim. It's Kim agrees with me, so I take her serious. That's how I think. Maybe you guys think, oh, I agree with Kim, so I'm going to follow Kim. That's your prerogative. Or Trump or whoever you want to follow, okay? I don't think like that. I just look at what's the truth and do people align with that or not? If you don't align with the truth, then you're worthless to me. I don't give a fuck about you. And everything I send in this video is the goddamn truth. Doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. I don't care. Like, I have people come and tell me, they're like, oh, I only watched a few minutes of your videos and I unsubbed, or I couldn't watch anymore, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. then get the fuck out of my face. Why are you talking to me? Why are you writing messages to me just to tell me that you don't like what I had to say? You think I'm going to pat you on the head and say, good job, thank you? Get the fuck out of my face, you stupid bitch. That's how I feel about it. But anyways, I don't want to end too negatively, even though this whole video is negative. I just want you guys to think about what the truth is and use common sense, all right? Use your soul, gut instinct, whatever you want to call it. Think for yourself and don't let anybody lead you astray. And if you don't agree with what I said or what I see, that's fine. Then I'm just not the person for you to watch. But I know what the truth is. And I'm going to speak the truth, whether people like it or not, until people wake the fuck up and changes are made. But anyways, if you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. Please consider donating to my Patreon or supporting my Patreon. It's in the link in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.